Hi, this is Comet Troy coming to you from Harmony Ridge RV Park, and I am the RV park builder. We already did a video on building a 400 amp power panel, so this is a video on building our second one. I don't have as much detail as far as step-by-step goes, so it's a shorter video. I do have a link above here to the original 400 amp pedestal build. That is a pretty popular video if you want to check that out. But I did take some footage here of the second panel. We did build things a little bit differently, and I dug a big hole first. I had to build a platform for the electrician to stand on because the power panels were way up high, and also my posts I put in weren't in the ground far enough to stand up on their own, so I had to support it with some supporting 2x4s, which you'll see in this video as well. But all in all, it went pretty well. Hello, this is Comet Troy, and today we're working on our fourth electrical service. Our first service was back there by the road. Our temporary, well, not even temporary, our temporary power RV station was our first one. And then we put in a 400 amp service here as our second service. Our third service is back on our utility shed up there. And now we're in the process of building our second RV power panel station. This is another 400 amp service on its own transformer, and with two 200 amp disconnects straddling it, one on each side. This one's going to have 4 RV stations on it and 2 EV stations and the second utility shed. So let's go and see how they're progressing with the second power panel. Looks like they're running the wire for the RV station here. We're running 100 amp breakers and 100 amp wire to each of the RV stations. We could have got away with 50 amp, and typically you only have one RV plugged in at a time, but we chose to do 100 amp aluminum wire here. So they're pulling that through right now. Now, I dug the hole so deep here for the meter panel. I didn't know how they were going to get up and put the boxes on, so I made them this little platform that they appreciated. I had a ladder, one of them ladders that you can have in all kinds of different positions. Put a board across here for them.
And we greatly appreciated it.
And it's working out well, huh?
Yeah, very well.
So the primary, or the service conduit, is at least 3 feet under, according to spec. Maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah, I think a little bit more.
So better to be too deep than not deep enough.
That's exactly right. Blake, these is the wires we're going to have to
in one of my earlier videos, I said that we were putting in some ionic capacitors that were harvesting RV electric from the ions in the air. Well, I fibbed a little bit. We're actually running real wires. So here is an RV box that we're running with some 100 amp wire. So we only need really 50 amps, but knowing me, I tend to overbuild things, so we actually ran 100 amp wire, 100 amp breakers to each of the RV stations, so you can have the 50, the 30, and the 20 completely loaded and have full power capacity at the RV station for all your power needs, even though a typical RV probably won't even use a quarter of that, if even that much. The other thing too, the other advantage of running 100 amp to each of these RV pedestals is I actually bought RV pedestals that have space for extra breakers. So in these panels you can put in, you know, they're 4 double breakers or 8 singles or a combination thereof. So the 50 amp takes, it's a double pole breaker, so that takes up 2 slots, and then the 30 and the 20 each take up a slot. So I have a spot for, you know, 4 more circuits in each of these RV stations. So I could run a you know, extra power out of that for like a casita or maybe a hot tub or whatever. You know, who knows what I'll come up with. One of the things I really like about these guys is they're a little bit OCD, and they pay attention to making sure all the conduit that comes straight up and that it's plumb and level and all looks pretty, rather than some sort of a rat's nest that goes every which way. So I really like the fact that they pay attention to the detail with things like that. So the second power panel for the RV stations is done at least for this part. The electrician has been out here and they got everything wired according to code, NEC standards, Tennessee standards. It was a one-day project that they spread out over 3 days, so supply chain issues and whatnot. So finally got all the parts they needed and got everything installed today, which is Friday, and the state inspector is scheduled to come on Tuesday to do the service release inspection, which triggers the electric company to come out and you know, put a transformer base on this, or put a transformer on this transformer base over here, and then we'll have power. Now that the power panel has been built, we can actually backfill and get rid of these last piles of dirt we have around the property. So that will be pretty exciting to get the full width of my driveway here and not have to go around a shed waiting to be installed and a pile of dirt waiting to go in a hole. So there you go. The second panel was you know, easy peasy to put in. You know, it's always easier when you bake a cake the second time. So the first time didn't really know what was going on. Second time, you know, we still made a couple mistakes. You know, I wish I would have put the posts in earlier before we actually put the conduit in the trench, but all in all it turned out okay. So again, you know, that video I can't link it a second time up here of the original 400 amp power panel, but check down in the description and you'll be able to get to that original 400 amp build. So if you like this video, like it, subscribe, comment, ring the bell so you get notified of future videos, and I will see you in the next video.